Hello and welcome to this guide on Axolotl and Lord Mazdamundi for Legendary difficulty, which will encompass the first 10 or so turns. Now, this particular start I would say is quite hard. You have a lot of enemies, you have a lot of different diplomatic situations you have to deal with, and there's a lot of variation as such for it. But I have found a start that does work quite well. So your first dilemma is attacking this first army. Now, depending on their enemy lord's trait, so if they have disciplined or confident, they'll engage you, as they did now, and if not, they'll back away. So if you want to follow this guide perfectly, then you'll need a trait that you'll need to restart the campaign until the enemy lord gets a good trait. So at the start, after you've engaged that army, you want to put Mazdamundi in Hexalotl, and then you want to put him out slightly. Having him out slightly with the movement increase from his lord-specific tree allows you to reach the Fallen Gates in one turn. You want to recruit 3 skinks. Now, it's not necessary you recruit 3 skinks. I just like to auto-resolve everything at the start because I did a few playthroughs of this. My recommendation would be to manually do all the battles if you can. It's not that important, as you'll see, but make sure when you've done that, you build the buildings. So focus on gold and make sure you build the skink building. So they should have a lord in the Fallen Gates and next to the Fallen Gates. Since you've made the skinks, you can just auto-resolve it. You're not going to lose anything. And you want to be deleting units anyway. So it's really not a problem. I just like to occupy it. I don't really want to deal with rebellions straight away. You don't really get much gold from it. I like to delete the Saurus warriors because they're expensive and inefficient. And then I upgrade the skink building because I want a skink chief, really good at sniping off the lord as well as getting some of that replenishment rate. Will be quite useful. So at this point you could choose to disband the Kroxigars as well. It's just an easier auto-resolve. But as I said, if you didn't auto-resolve this, you'd probably be able to get away with a lot more. I just did because it's easier for me. And it still works. So Vermich will engage you, and you should be able to finish him off this turn. You're not going to lose anything. And it just gives you an extra level. So I focus on the battle line for Lord Mazdamundi. Get that, buff the skinks, especially the ammunition. Really focus on the ammunition. So head back to Hexalotl. Recruit 3 more skinks. And all you want to do is just get the gold mine. You don't want to upgrade the other 2 buildings. The cost to benefit you get from each building isn't really worth it. And I like the option of being able to use the Rite of Sotek just for that extra ammunition if I have to. But that's really up to you, based on how the campaign goes. Now at this point you can make a non-aggression pact with the New World colonies. Complete waste of time. They love to backstab you. They are really horrible at that. Probably one of the worst of any faction. The second you go near them and they think they've got a good chance of beating you, they'll just go for it. And the only way to counteract that I found is this next part, which relies on ambush stance and the Ziggurat of Dawn. So once you've recruited that, you want to head to the border, which allows you to be in touching distance or a one move distance to the Ziggurat of Dawn, so you can engage it next turn. Go into ambush stance. Now, if you want, you can cancel the gold mine in order to get the Rite of Sotek. I didn't, because you didn't need to. But if you do want to get the Rite of Sotek earlier, that's probably not a bad idea either. I made a Skink Chief. Fingers crossed you get a good trait like Disciplined or Confident. I didn't, but that's fine. And from what I've seen, Skeggy pretty consistently takes the Ziggurat of Dawn at this point. There was one instance where he kind of force marched next to Hexalotl, like, oh, maybe I'll take Hexalotl. So that can happen, and if that does happen, you can just restart this, because it's only a couple of auto-resolves. Or you can continue with the campaign. But as you see, I get the New World colonies to declare war on Skeggy, just because they're a lot weaker, because they're in the Ziggurat of Dawn. This means that they're less likely to attack you. I mean, I've never seen them declare war on me while Skeggy is at war with them, but at the same time, I've never gone near them to give them the chance. So I like to just get Mazdamundi up there and then get the Skink Priest, because I didn't really want to test if the movement range changed at all. It probably wouldn't. It'd probably be fine, but it's just to be on the safe side. And this battle's a nice auto-resolve now, which is really good. But I would also recommend not to auto-resolve it. You'd probably do a lot better not doing it, but you can do it if you want. That's just how easy the start is. Now, I tested this, and you cannot reach Skeggy, regardless if you're in or out of the settlement in one turn, so you may as well get that extra replenishment rate. And then I made 3 Chameleon Skinks. Or actually, now you've got to think about whether you want to make the Chameleon Skinks or not. Chameleon Skinks are far better units. They just perform a lot better because of their stalk, but they just do a lot more damage as well compared to the Skink Skirmishers. So it should be noted that once Skeggy are dead, the New World colonies will declare war on you. I've never seen them not declare war on me. It's not that big a deal. You'll have time to respond to that. You'll get the replenishment back you need. Now, it should be noted that the Ziggurat of Dawn, if you are attacking it and you sort of take a bit longer, or you don't follow this exactly, because you can follow this loosely. I did manage to win or finish off Skeggy and the New World colonies without doing this specific strategy. As long as you follow the guideline, as long as you follow finishing off the Skaven and dragging the New World colonies into your war with Skeggy, you should be fine. They're the 2 key, most important decisions you can make.
But yours is a short span.
Also, diplomacy-wise, I'm not really sure what Morathi does now. Ever since they added a few extra factions, she doesn't instantly declare war on you, but she is a threat, and you should definitely be taking her out early. So you want to be... what I like to do is to make to get non-aggression pacts and trade agreements with High Elves. It should be noted that if you get -40 relations with the High Elves as Hexalotl. Generally, that's when they declare war on you, but always try and be safe with that. You don't want to be at war with the High Elves because they don't get peace treaties at all. And also, something that I forgot when I was doing this playthrough is when you get the tier 2 skink building, you want to be researching the technologies that go along with that. I forgot to do that. But it's the 20% extra ammunition plus the poison attack for all skink units, which is really, really good, especially the ammunition. But as you can see, the army they've got is manageable. But you do want to manually resolve this. You can't auto-resolve this one. The map itself is pretty good. It's it's big enough, and there's not too many trees.
You know nothing. No!
But that's the end of the guide. Really helps to get rid of Skeggy early. You don't have as much public order problems. And they are a real threat, Norsca, against the Lizardmen in the early game, just because once they start getting Marauder champions, you've got really solid infantry with a lot of armor, and it's very difficult to deal with them. But now you're going to have to burst out New World colonies. My recommendation would be head down south and then take... Port Reaver. You will have to deal with a rebellion then. My recommendation would be just go over, take on the rebellion, and then finish off the New World colonies. Try and lure them in. You can sacrifice Port Reaver in order to get that. Also, Silostra will head over when Port Reaver is taken, and she'll just start raiding the area because, I don't know, it's legendary, but... once that happens, once you've dealt with the New World colonies, I would definitely just sneak over and finish off Silostra. I personally don't like to take her territory. High vampiric corruption. I just like to consolidate the Port Reaver region as well as the Hexalotl region. Start building them up for a little bit. My next recommendation after you've finished off both the New World colonies in Silostra is to head north, finish off Morathi, and then head south into Lustria and take on Marcus Wolfheart. Because once Marcus Wolfheart forms a border with you, or he takes a settlement, a province right near a province of yours, he'll probably most likely declare war on you. And that'll be quite difficult if you start heading south and then Morathi decides to declare war on you whilst all your armies are fighting Marcus Wolfheart. But yeah, I hope that helped. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.